This is going to be a tutorial on connecting any app to MailingBoss using Zapier. So the first thing that we want to do is basically quickly discuss the plan. For this demonstration, I'm going to be making use of Google Forms as the trigger event. So when somebody records a response through Google Forms, this is going to trigger them to be added as a subscriber in my MailingBoss list. So you can see here, I have this MailingBoss Zapier tutorial option here, and I'm going to go to MailingBoss quickly to show you the list. As you can see there, it's going to be, this is a Zapier tutorial. There isn't really much special about this list. There's nothing fancy configured here. It's just a regular list with a name, display name, description, whatever. Uh, just keep in mind that when you are in Zapier and you're looking for your list, it's going to be displayed by its display name, not by the name option here that is generally more visible in the list sections of your MailingBoss account. So you want to make sure that it's going to be easily recognizable by the display name so you can find it easy on Zapier. So the next step is to consider the fields. So right here, you can see I have 4 fields here as I have 4 fields in my form: email, name, age, and gender. Email, name, age, and gender here as well. So there's something to keep in mind here. As you can see, all these are text fields. You don't really need to do much special here. As you notice, the gender option in my form is a multi-select field. You could also call it a multiple choice field as well. I don't need to add it as a multi-select field because by the end of the response being recorded, it's all just text, and that's going to be the way that it's going to be sent over to MailingBoss. So through that, you don't need to have a multiple choice field as a multiple choice field on um, your MailingBoss list as well. So with that all out of the way, now we're going to connect the two. The way we're going to be doing this is through Zapier right here. I'm going to make a new set. And now through here, I'm going to be using Google Forms right here. Although it's pretty much the Google Sheets integration with the code thing. I'm going to select this here, and we're going to select the trigger event. New response in spreadsheet, new or updated response in spreadsheet. Now, while I'm doing this with Google Forms, the options are generally pretty similar with other options as well. So this can help a little bit, and the instructions for forms is almost identical to the instructions for Google Sheets. So that's just something else to keep in mind there. This is just preference. I'm going to do new or updated response to spreadsheet, and I'm going to click on continue. Now from here, this is where you're going to connect your Google Forms account. I'm just going to select mine because I already configured this in the past. If not, you could always go to edit accounts right there to add it. I'm going to go to continue. From here, we're going to select the spreadsheet in particular. As I said before, this is taking it from Google Sheets. If you plan on using Google Forms, something to keep in mind is the only way that you're going to be able to get this option here is going to be through a spreadsheet, which is why I stated that the setup for Forms is identical to the setup for Sheets because you need a Google Sheet anyway. So all you need to do is go to spreadsheet here. So all you need to do is essentially just, if you want to use Forms, you want to go over here to view responses in the sheet. It's only saying that for me because I already created the sheets, but this icon will still be there if you haven't created that sheet yet. You click that, it creates a sheet for you, and it links it as well so that anytime that you get a response in the form, it shows up right here. And so what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to go back to Zapier. I'm going to click on continue. From here, we can select spreadsheet. I already created this one right here, is MailingBoss Zapier tutorial. This is going to be the one that we're going to be using. And then from here, worksheet. I'm going to use the only one that is currently included in that spreadsheet. As you see here, multiple can be created. So we get to trigger column here. As you can see, there are a couple different options here. If you want to make sure that maybe it only gets triggered off of, say, the email being filled out, then that is possible. For me, I'm going to leave it at any column because it's not going to make much difference to me if they don't fill out the name for this demonstration mainly. But it's up to you the way that you want to make this work. So I'm just leaving that in any column, and I'm going to click on continue. Then from here, it'll tell us to find data. Since I've already filled out this once, you can see that I do have data in the spreadsheet already. And so just clicking test and continue will result in the option being found anyway. So if you get to that point and it just continues loading, you want to make sure that this has at least been filled out once. And now from here, we get to the trigger step. What we're going to do is we're going to find our integration here. So I'm just going to type in MailingBoss, and you can see here just clicking, just typing in mailing brought it up. So I'm just going to click it here. We only have one action event available right now, add/update lead to list. Something to keep in mind is that the MailingBoss integration currently only works as an action, not a trigger. There's no way to trigger another action to occur when something is updated or added to a list. It's only able to add something to the list as an action, not as a trigger. So that's definitely something that we are looking into in the future, but we cannot say for certain when it will be available, at least at the time of this recording. So from here, we'll want to get our MailingBoss account integrated. If you don't have your MailingBoss account integrated, you want to go to Edit Accounts. Then from here, you'll be able to set it up. You'll see here I already have this created, but if not, I just want to go to MailingBoss. Here, I'm just going to select it. Here, it'll ask us for the integration key. All you need to keep in mind to get your integration key is you want to go to Menu, and then you want to go to Integration. Once you click on this, you'll see a token at the top of your account. That's going to be what you want to copy and paste in Zapier. In fact, it does still display the instructions right here. Anyway, I'm going to go back to Zapier here. Since I already have these configured, I'm just going to go and select my MailingBoss account right here, and I'm going to click on Continue. Now from here, you'll see a couple of options. Email address. What we need to do is when we click on here, it'll give us a couple different options. This is all being taken from what was already filled out in the form when it got all that test information. Where I selected here email address and I filled out a fake email address where you see test@test.test right there, you can see that this is the field indeed that it was filled out. So basically, if we select this option, anytime that somebody fills out that field in particular, it will be added as an email address. So where it says test@test.test, it's not always going to fill that out. That's just the example it's pulling from the data that was available in the spreadsheet. So that's just something to keep in mind there. Name, I already have mine here, test, on the name field. Last name, I am not making use of this. It is optional. You don't have to use it. Same thing with the phone number option. List, I'm going to select the list that I created for this tutorial, which is Zapier tutorial. and then I'm going to go to custom fields. Now this is going to work a little bit differently because what we're going to want to do is, as I stated before, we wanted to keep in mind what these tags were because we're going to have to make use of them. We only have two fields left that we need to add, the age field and the gender field. Now we have the tag here, we want to copy and paste it into Zapier. That's the tag. Now we want to put equals, the equal symbol, and then we want to find where the age option was that was filled out. So we're going to click on that, and there it is. Essentially, this is saying that this tag is equal to whatever the user inputted for the field that we selected there. And so same thing with the gender field. I'm going to go over here, tag, copy that, and then we're going to paste that into here, put in enter, and then we're going to show all options. We're going to look for the gender option there, and there it is. And that's pretty much going to be it. You can fill in these tags if you want to. Just to use it as an example, we're going to just put Zapier as the tag. It'll pop up in all caps because that's how tags work in MailingBoss when you see it transferred over to MailingBoss. And then status, if you want them to receive the confirmation email after filling in the form, you can put unconfirmed. If you want it so that you can start sending them emails after, then you can put confirmed. And then we're going to continue. And now it's going to say to test MailingBoss, we need to create a new ad lead. This is what will be created. And so it's just taking the information that was already available in the test case here. And we're going to basically click test and continue. Okay then, so we backtracked just a little bit because that email that I was using beforehand, it was actually used in quite a few tests beforehand. And it's also just been blacklisted for now because it's not a valid email. So all I really did is just filled it out again with a more valid email. If I go to find data here, you can see here I made another email for this purpose. So I'm going to go through here and I'm just going to retest and review. And there it is. This lead should have been added to the list. So we're going to go back over here, click on subscribers. Here we can find one lead with the tag Zapier. All the information is here, and that's pretty much all there is to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just turn this Zap on, and I'm going to fill this out one more time. Submit another response. I'm going to put test completion at my domain, random age, and then we're going to submit that. Go back to MailingBoss. We're going to refresh. As you'll notice, this did take a little bit more time, and that's because most Zaps on Zapier run on a 15-minute basis. So that would be why this didn't pop up earlier, but now, as you can see, these were 15 minutes apart because we practically did finish that within that same minute. But yeah, that's going to be how you're going to be working with Zapier to get leads into MailingBoss from other sources. If you have any other questions, please let us know at the support team live chat. Thank you very much.